Hello again. So as promised, I would like to take this time to introduce our new seminarians at St. Anne. So I'll go ahead and let you tell everybody who you are.
Hey, how's it going today? My name's William Douglas. I'm a first theologian from Mount St. Mary's. Really happy to be here with Father Hess and with you here at St. Anne this summer for a summer assignment.
And Skillet's with us too. He wanted to be a part of this as well. So, yeah. So are you still a first theologian? What does that mean exactly?
I just finished a minor seminary, college seminary at John Paul II in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And so I just started my first year of graduate studies, studying theology at Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland. So I have 4 more years to go.
So you have 4 more years of study, or how does it explain how that works?
Yeah, so I just finished my first year in academic studies for theology, and I'll go back for 1 more in Emmitsburg, and then I'll be in a parish for an entire year, and after that go back to Mount St. Mary's for a whole year of graduate studies.
Great. So you're at Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland, so that's where you're doing your major seminary studies now. Where are you originally from?
I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, so like the southwest corner of Tennessee and everything. So I actually drove over a couple of days ago. After the semester ended, I surprised my mom and my brother, and yeah, I drove over from Virginia to Tennessee and spent a couple of weeks with them, and just came back over to Bristol.
Now I know everybody's going to be really surprised and interested in that, so that you are from Memphis, Tennessee, and now here you are studying for the Diocese of Richmond. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean definitely God's at work, and all of it continues to be, but I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and after high school I went to William & Mary for 2 years, and really during that time started discerning my vocation and living out the faith. And with another guy who was graduating that year, both of us entered from William & Mary. So that was my connection with the diocese going to college.
And you both went into the Diocese of Richmond together?
Right, exactly.
Good. And how far along were you in college when you made that decision?
2 years. So I just finished my sophomore year at William & Mary.
So you did 2 years at William & Mary, and then you did 2 more years at John Paul II in Washington, D.C.
It took me 3, yeah, because I changed my major from business to philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it took me 3. I enjoyed it though. It was a good time.
You know, everybody tells me they love being at John Paul II, that it's just a great place, that they enjoy being there, they enjoy the formation there. So here you are at William & Mary studying business. What made you think that you would want to change your major and go study philosophy, theology, and become a priest?
Yeah, I mean, the simplest way I could put it, just like a call to enter, to pursue the priesthood, but it happened gradually. Like when I came to college, the faith and the Catholic campus ministry wasn't really on my radar, but early on I made a couple of connections with Catholics in my dorm, and actually very early on met Alex Jimenez, another seminarian, the guy who entered with me into formation.
Okay.
But yeah, just going on retreats, realizing that I was focused so much on what my occupation was going to be and how much more I should discern my vocation and my relationship with God and how that's lived out in this life. And yeah, it kind of put me on, like the compass kind of changed in those 2 years towards wanting to be a priest. Yeah.
I know Father James makes a big impression on a lot of people there.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great work. He's at Holy Trinity now in Norfolk.
A good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So, what other kind of assignments have you had since you've been here in the Diocese of Richmond?
Sure. The first summer I was actually at Holy Trinity in Norfolk, Virginia with Father Dan Beeman, who's now at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And then last year I was actually at another St. Anne in the diocese in Colonial Heights, in between Richmond and Petersburg.
So you were in my old stomping grounds. You were right there in the Tri-Cities where I used to be before I came out here.
Pretty close to
working with Father Danny, and Father Brian, and Father Joe, and all those good guys down there. Yeah. Okay. So that's great. So what do you think about coming out here, all the way out to the Southwest? Now, I remember when I was a seminarian, this was like the assignment. People were like, you're going to send me out like to Bristol? That's like the other side of the planet and all the way. Well, I guess for you coming from Memphis, you probably had a little bit different perspective on that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's a long drive from Memphis to Richmond kind of thing. It's like 10 or 12 hours, but I actually love it. I've never really been in this part of the state, Virginia or Tennessee, depending how you look at it. And I really enjoy hiking and the outdoors. Sam, the other seminarian, and I have played tennis a couple of times already since being here, and we've gone on a hike with Father Hess and Skillet, so it's been a good time so far. I look forward to being here.
So what are you most looking forward to in ministry? What really excites you about being here and having this assignment?
Yeah, in ministry, definitely most looking forward to confession and spiritual direction, just like having one-on-one encounters with people.
Okay.
But here, just whatever is placed before me, happy to do.
What excites you about being a parish? Because what I remember about being, I mean, I enjoyed being in seminary. When I was there, my time there, it was a very good experience for me. But it was difficult at times, and there were challenges, and there were sometimes, people just didn't fit in. Feel like I want to be here in the seminary, and it was such a good experience to go out into a parish to realize that the reality of parish ministry is so different than what life is like in the seminary, that even if some aspects of being in the seminary are difficult and challenging, when you get to be in a parish, it's going to be a lot different than that. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah, big time. I think guys most miss the routine in seminary, like with the rule of life and praying in community and having that fraternity, the community aspect. Like at John Paul II, it's roughly 50 seminarians, a full house there, and then at Mount St. Mary's, it's about 150. So it definitely changes when you're in a parish when there might be one or two other priests. So that's something guys definitely treasure in seminary, but also miss moving beyond it. So.
Yeah, and I understand you guys have kind of been in quarantine for 2 months, so it's got to be a breath of fresh air to be in a parish right now and get to do some work.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But at the same time, the last 2 months have been very grace-filled with the Richmond seminarians who tend to go to different seminaries and never spend more than a few days together. We were able to really come together and bond pretty tight, actually, over just a couple of months at the retreat center. So it was a good experience too. But it's over, and we move on to the next. So
good. So you guys had a chance to meet William, and we'll be doing another one of these with our other seminarian. And hopefully everyone will have a chance to meet them over the summer. I know we're not doing a lot of the big gatherings that like we used to, but we're waiting to see what's going to happen with phase 2 and if we'll be able to have more activities in the parish and more things where people can get involved. We're having more and more people come to Mass now, so our attendance at Mass is coming up a little bit. I'm hoping that's going to continue, and we're just going to find more and more ways to engage with the people. As I mentioned in a letter that I recently wrote, we want to hear from you guys. So you're seeing what's going on here. We want to hear from the people in the parish. How are you doing? How are you dealing with this situation? And what can we do for you? What can we do more to reach out to the people in the parish and help them through this difficult time? So I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're all staying safe and taking care of yourself. And hopefully we'll get to see you soon. Take care.
See ya.